Thank you, Dan. Good evening once again. Wayne Rooney, of course, reaches yet another milestone in his glittering career tonight. His 500th English League appearance. But being the sort of player and the sort of man he is, he would rather take a secondary role and a win for Derby County here tonight, rather than taking the headlines and not seeing his side make further progress up the Championship table. Fulham, of course, have rather missed out on a big opportunity with only 1 point from their previous 2 games, when they had Leeds United very much in their sights. Of course, a win here tonight and they will be level on points with Marcelo Bielsa's team once again. But Adrian Clark, you look at Fulham and you look at what happened last week, and they just look like a side that really got stage fright when it mattered most.
Yeah, you could certainly make a case for that. I would also suggest that they had complacency on the day home to a side that are struggling at the bottom end of the table in Barnsley. Maybe they thought they could just turn up and they could walk to victory. Anything but was the actuality. So no, I think there is a big question mark against Fulham's promotion credentials. What I will say is that they've improved massively from a defensive perspective since the turn of the year. The introduction of Michael Hector has made a tremendous difference, and I never had a worry that they would score enough goals to be in the promotion shake-up. My fear was that they wouldn't keep enough clean sheets. They are at least doing that now.
Well, a player of Ivan Cavallero's quality has been left out tonight, and you would have thought in the Championship a forward line of Knockaert, Mitrovic and Cavallero would be good enough almost on their own to guarantee promotion, but it's not happened.
No, and I think it hasn't happened because in the first half of the season they were not good enough without the ball. And I also have to say that Anthony Knockaert in particular has been a disappointment. I think he's a top class talent at Championship level, but he's only scored a couple of goals, 3 assists I think. Not good enough. I think Caballero might feel a little bit aggrieved he's not starting today. He's got more than double that output, 12 direct goal involvements from Caballero. I think he has been a success, but Knockaert hasn't. What I think Scott Parker has done is recognise that those two guys want to cut inside all of the time. He introduced Bobby Reid, who's got slippery movement. He brought in Abubakar Kamara, who's got great power and pace, and it gave Fulham a fresh dimension, and it actually shook up the entire first team, and all of a sudden they thought, hang on, no one's place is safe now under Scott Parker. So that was a key moment, I think, in the campaign as well.
And there is a small knot of Fulham supporters up away on the right-hand side as we look out from the main stand here at Pride Park, and Fulham will get the game underway wearing all red. Derby County in their white shirts, black shorts and white socks. So much of the pre-match talk has been about Wayne Rooney, but Aleksandar Mitrovic does have the capability of really spoiling his party here tonight. He was talking in the week about a love of chess, which has really calmed him down and also helped his all-round play. Well, we'll see what happens here this evening as the football weekend is underway once again across the TalkSport network and here at Pride Park on the home of the EFL, TalkSport 2. It is Fulham in all red playing from left to right in the first half, looking to move level on points with Leeds United in the second automatic promotion place. Derby County some way adrift, 9 points away from the top 6, but 33 of their 44 points have come here so far this season, and they will look back at what Aston Villa achieved. Of course, they were in a similar position at a similar stage of the season 12 months ago, but their revival began with a thumping of Derby and of course ended with victory against the same opponents in the playoff final, live on TalkSport at Wembley. But of course Aston Villa had Jack Grealish returning. You wonder whether Derby, even with Wayne Rooney in the team, just had that X factor.
I think they're a world apart, this Derby side from the Villa one that was promoted. John McGinn as well, of course, who's proven to be a top class performer in the top flight. So now I think this Derby County side is a season of transition, really. I don't expect them to get promoted.
Forsyth swings a high ball forward from left to right. It was beyond Waghorn, but Jason Knight was causing problems wide on the right-hand side. And it's a throw-in to Derby, taken by Andre Wisdom, making his 100th appearance for the Rams this evening. He finds Knight, and he very quickly clips the ball off Joe Bryan. and it goes behind for the first corner of the game to Derby County on the far side.
Yeah, nice cheap corner for Derby County to kick the game off. I was here for Wayne Rooney's debut actually for the Rams, and he produced a wonderful assist from an in-swinging free kick that day. Here he stands over the first corner. It's going to be an outswinger from that far side. His deliveries are top class, you have to say.
And it will be an outswinger from Wayne Rooney, but he plays it short in the end, outfoxing all of us. Now Shinnie fighting Lawrence, and Lawrence has scored a couple of outstanding goals recently, but he's actually cleared the roof of the stand away on the right-hand side, got right underneath that, and it's gone out of the ground. And to do that here at Pride Park, that is some achievement.
That is incredible. Well played, Tom Lawrence. That is a remarkable. He got a round of applause from the people in front of us, because he's only 23 yards out, and he has skied it practically vertically, and it has gone. What would you say? I think that's gone 50 yards. No.
It's a big ground here at Pride Park.
30 yards over the crossbar.
At least.
Remarkable.
And out of the ground onto the ring road. I mean, I've never seen anybody do that here at Pride Park before. It is not a small stadium. It's not like, you're at a lower division ground where it happens all the time.
See, we thought we were here to see Wayne Rooney's landmark 500th game in English football, but we're here for the moment a Derby player cleared the stand.
Somebody's car's had a dinted bonnet in the car park outside as play resumes with 3 minutes played on TalkSport 2, 0-0 here at Pride Park. Now Knockaert turns and plays the ball infield behind Harry Arter, but it's gathered by the American Tim Ream, who can bring the ball over the halfway line, wide to the far side, and Brian again. And Brian to Mitrovic has been a regular source of goals for Fulham so far this season, and it's Brian, the former Bristol City man, who gathers on the far side. And Fulham here with a real test of patience in the early moments, because Derby are sitting in fairly deeply. Rooney looking to get up alongside Waghorn when he can, and now that game of patience has worked for Derby, because Fulham initially give the ball away. But here is Kenny wide to the far side, and Reed back to Brian, and now Harry Arter, Scott Parker's brother-in-law, back in the Fulham midfield, plays it down the line left hand side looking for Kenny, but he miscontrols, and Curtis Davis will play the ball away, and it eventually spins out on the far side for a Fulham throw-in midway inside the Derby half, with 4.5 minutes played here at Pride Park in the Sky Bet Championship, and it's 0-0 between two clubs who were eyeing a return to the Premier League at the start of the season, but Fulham now much better placed to bounce back at the first attempt.
So they've got a real chance this season, Fulham. I think with Alexander Mitrovic almost nailed on, wasn't he, to win the Golden Boot at Championship level. He's delivered for them. They've got a wonderful chance with others slipping up around them. But probably tonight's like this will be the acid test for them, coming away to Derby, an improving side, strong home record. If they can grind out a really professional, accomplished performance and victory tonight, I think we really have to sit up and take notice of Scott Parker and of Fulham, who it appears will have the bulk of possession here tonight. Derby quite economical in the way they're pressing them.
And one goal has often had to be enough for Fulham. They've not won by more than a single goal since they beat Derby 3-0 back in October.
Yeah.
Their last 7 victories have all been by a single goal, and often 1-0 Mitrovic has been enough.
Yeah, it has, and if you're solid at the other end of the pitch, that's good enough, isn't it? I looked at some of the stats before the game. Away from home, only 6 teams have scored fewer goals than Fulham.
But they have picked up 6 victories and also 6 draws, and you spoke about them being a tough nut to crack, and it's 2 years ago when they finally got things going, they were known as a free-flowing attacking side, Sessegnon on one side and Target also moving forward from left back, but they're trying to play it a different way here.
It's more measured, yeah, that's for sure, and it's I still think they're an attractive side to watch, Fulham. But but tactically they didn't get it right early on in the season. They were too predictable. I think in recent months they've improved massively in that regard.
And now Derby have given the ball away. It's quickly forward to Mitrovic on the edge of the penalty area. Infield now to Knockout. Left foot shot from him though was blocked by Shinnie. It spins high into the air and it's gathered by Kearney, who comes infield again for Fulham from the left hand side. Scoops it over the top. Brian with a break into the penalty area. Delivers the cross in, but it's gathered by Shinnie at the near post. He finds Wisdom and Derby should be able to clear a long ball forward from Wisdom. Waghorn on the chase, but Tim Ream will guide a header back to the goalkeeper Marek Rodak.
I think Andre Wisdom at right back for Derby is going to have his hands full this evening. He's got Bobby Reid as his direct opponent. He's got Joe Bryant flying around the outside, excellent overlapping fullback. And as you've alluded to earlier on, Tom Kearney loves to pick out the runs of Joe Bryant. So yeah, I think Wisdom is going to be really busy. He's going to need eyes in the back of his head.
Now Hector square to Ream once again as Derby have some sort of press, but Waghorn moved forward but then discovered that Lawrence and Rooney were some way behind him, so Derby retreat once again as Adoy plays it forward on this near side for Fulham, the man who scored the winner when these two sides met in the playoff semi-finals 2 seasons ago. Cameron Jerome scored the only goal here when Derby absolutely battered Fulham but couldn't get the second goal, and they lost thanks to goals from Sessegnon and Adoy at Craven Cottage as Reid comes forward now for Fulham. Infield again towards Kearney. Brian joining in down the left-hand side, swings in the early cross, but that's very much unlike him, overhit and behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, not the best there from Joe Bryan, but again it was down that left-hand side that Fulham raided, and Jason Knight, the youngster teenager, just 19 years of age, he's got an important job as well to support Andre Wisdom, because he's going to need to track those runs all evening long, and Brian will make them, that is for sure. But no, they've started the game confidently, Fulham, no doubt about that. Derby is interesting, they're retreating until a certain point, and then inside that middle third, that's when they're getting in amongst those red shirts.
But they do have plenty of weapons going forward. Lawrence has scored a couple of spectacular long-range goals recently as the goal kick forward from Hamer is flicked on by Waghorn, looking for Rooney, but Fulham will clear. And it's a blustery, chilly night here in the East Midlands as a high ball is played forward again, and Clark does well to judge it with Mitrovic all over him and heads it back towards Ben Hamer once again. Goalkeeper has kept only 2 clean sheets in his 14 games since replacing Calarus.
Yeah, look, if they do want to progress and move forward and be promotion contenders next season, I don't want to be too harsh on Ben Hamer, but I do feel that is a position the Rams can upgrade in. It's such a key role, isn't it? You've got a top-class keeper. You've seen it at Middlesbrough. Darren Randolph, fantastic goalkeeper. Relied on him heavily since he's left for West Ham United. They're conceding so many more goals.
Well, they had Scott Carson here for so long, of course, who did offer some reliability as Lawrence comes forward now for Derby. Wide to Wisdom down the right. The early cross in, looking for Waghorn. Excellent delivery in. It was cleared by Hector at the near post, but here is Wisdom again. This time the cross is blocked at source by Brian, and it loops high into the crowd on the far side for a throw into Derby with nearly 10 minutes played at Pride Park. It's 0-0, but Derby just beginning to build up some momentum.
What a cross that was from Andre Wisdom. He put some weight behind it. There was an excellent piece of defending from Hector. Positioning spot on, very, very calm, accomplished defender.
Now it's given away by Reid on the edge of his own penalty area. Shinnie's shot was blocked. Here is Bird finding Lawrence, who strikes it, and it took a deflection and it spins just wide of Rodak's near post.
Got to be so careful. Cannot allow Tom Lawrence room and space around the edge of the box. He will let fly, and he did there, left-footed. Took a nick off Dennis Adoy and out for a corner. They scored a lot of goals from outside the box, Derby County, and a lot of that is down to Lawrence.
Rooney will take the corner this time. It's an in-swinger from this near side, the left. Rooney's delivery towards that near post. A stooping header away from Hector. Back out towards Rooney again. A low ball in towards that penalty area, and it was flicked on at the near post by Tom Lawrence into the arms of Marek Rodak, when maybe he should have done better.
Sensational pass. It really was from Wayne Rooney. He's given the entire Fulham team, the eyes there, everybody's expecting a flighted cross towards the far post, and he sees that they're sat too deep, and he just plays a low, unexpected pass towards Lawrence at the near stick. He reads it, just toes it towards goal, but ends up in the arms of Roda. That was excellent from Rooney.
Derby with 4 wins, 2 draws and 2 defeats since the arrival of Wayne Rooney. And he often enjoyed a game against Fulham during his Manchester United career. 10 goals in total against them in the Premier League.
That's not a bad record.
Well, it must be said, he played against some pretty poor Fulham teams in the Premier League when he was coming through as a youngster for Everton, and also in a very good side for Manchester United during that particular spell.
Yeah, look, Fulham stayed in the Premier League for a number of years, didn't they? But they were never known, were they, for being particularly strong at the back?
No, they had some really incredible escapes. Of course, reached the Europa League final under Roy Hodgson, and then sort of meandered for a couple of years before eventually going down. Is that too harsh?
No, that's the thing. No, you can get away with that. But no, I think
Wayne Rooney often played in some fairly hefty wins against them.
Yeah, he did, that's for sure.
12 minutes played, 0-0 here at Pride Park. This the start of heavyweight weekend across the TalkSport network, with Wilder Fury 2 coming up. The only place you can hear it free to air is on TalkSport in the early hours of Sunday morning, live from Las Vegas. The coverage begins at 10 o'clock on TalkSport as Adoy goes straight into the back of Shinnie, 5 yards inside the Derby half, and concedes a free kick for the Rams.
Yeah, Graham Shinnie started the game really well, actually. We've seen a couple of good defensive contributions in and around his own 18-yard box there. He brings the ball out and draws the foul. I think it's a big night for him, looking to cement a place in Philip Koku's first choice 11. He hasn't really managed to do that until this point.
Graham Shinnie and Max Bird tonight both really have an opportunity to stake a claim in the absence of Dwayne Holmes, who could be absent for a few weeks after going off injured during the draw here against Huddersfield. And George Evans also not involved. Tom Huddleston is also coming back from injury, so Derby are light in the midfield areas, and they've won a throw-in on this near side, which Craig Forsyth will take. Thrown back towards the bearded Shinnie on the edge of the penalty area. Now Lawrence infield towards Shinnie again, but Hector comes in with a challenge and does well to clear up towards the halfway line. Clark steps in before Mitrovic, clears it down the line on the Derby left, and eventually Fulham have a throw-in midway inside their own half.
Such an upgrade, Hector, on what Fulham had in that position earlier on in the campaign, and full credit to him. He's been training with them the whole season, but couldn't play until January, which was a really strange situation for him. And yeah, he looks like he's got it all. I think he's a Premier League central defender in waiting, really. Will he achieve that with Fulham, I wonder?
And at the age of 27, he needs to find a home. And Fulham is his home now, after being farmed out on loan year after year at Chelsea.
Yeah, my colleague and good mucker Sam Parkin, we know, a friend of the station, he dubbed him Virgil van Dijk, which I thought was a good one, because he does remind you a little bit stylistically of Virgil van Dijk. So it's a big tag, but he's got some class about him.
Here is Kenny coming forward now for Fulham. Wide to the left-hand side, and Bryan, who looks to take on Knight, chops back onto his right foot. Now has Kearney in support once again. Arter midway inside the Derby half. Mitrovic lurking on the edge of the penalty area, standing in an offside position at the moment, but Derby County are still wary of his presence. Here is Adoy on this near side. And now Hector, who rather like Van Dijk, has his hair tied up in a ponytail, bobbing away behind him as he plays it forward to Harry Arter. And now Kearney again, midway inside the Derby half, taking over his read. And Fulham again are trying to pass Derby into submission, but they're not really making too much progress. But maybe now, as Knockaert provides an injection of pace down the right-hand side, comes in field onto his left foot. Arter now is square of him. He can strike it, but it goes wide towards Bryan inside the area, and eventually he's levered off the ball by Knight, and Derby will clear, and Knight's clearance hits Joe Bryan, and again it's out of play for a throw-in.
Yeah, credit Derby because they held their shape there, but that was really good, patient passing football from Fulham. What really struck me there with that passage of play was the rotational movement. It was excellent. You had players popping up all over the place. Johansson was suddenly out here on the right wing, and what's noticeable when Harry Arter has it, or the centre backs have it with Arter the deepest man, the rest of the midfield really push on into advanced positions and ask questions of the home midfielders. Basically they force Derby to retreat, and it's quite sophisticated football really from Scott Parker's side.
As now Ream finds Hector once again. 4 changes made following that 3-0 home defeat against Barnsley, and you spoke about the impact Michael Hector has had. They conceded 3 goals in that game, of course, against the side who were bottom of the championship, and before that they'd only conceded 3 goals in 6 games.
Yeah, remarkable.
But people say, well, Barnsley are bottom, they're rubbish. But no, seriously, at this stage of the season, you look at Huddersfield coming here, getting a draw, Luton winning away from home last week. Everybody is dangerous because everybody suddenly realises there's 13 games to go and we've got to sort ourselves out.
Definitely, yeah. There's no such thing as a gimme in this division, no chance. And there isn't a great deal of difference in quality between those at the top and bottom of the division.
We're going to see more and more between now and the end of the season unpredictable results. So. We always say the championship is unpredictable, but I think that will go up a notch or two.
Yeah, and the playoffs play a part in that, don't they? Because it keeps the season alive for so many more teams, and they've got something to play for. I don't think the relegation trapdoor is completely closed. I think a couple of weeks ago you thought the bottom 3 might be nailed on, but not so now. Wigan have had some great results. Barnsley winning at Fulham will have boosted them. So, yeah, plenty of thrills and spills to come in this division.
As Derby look to come forward now with 18 minutes played, and it's still goalless here at Pride Park for Scythe. Looks to go beyond Knockaert. He did have an arm on his back, and Knockaert then goes to ground to make the challenge. Comes away with the ball. Here is Adoy. Johansson back towards Adoy again, and now Johansson has the opportunity to try and play it forward, but he's always a player who looks to play the game at his own pace, and Arter does eventually lump it long, looking for Mitrovic high over his head, and it's gathered by Curtis Davies once again, a player who has once again found himself at the heart of the Derby defence when maybe he thought his days may have been numbered.
Yeah, well, when he's fit, he is the number 1 centre-back probably here alongside on loan Matt Clark. I think they've got the potential to be a really good combo.
Well, Bielik is injured, of course, isn't it?
Although I think Bielik is probably better as a holding midfield player, can do the job, but yeah, no, he's just staying fit. That's the problem for Curtis Davies. What I think here with this game, Fulham have got the composed position. What Derby need to do is strike hard and fast. When they do win the ball, it's important they go from back to front really quickly, I think.
Now Waghorn finding Rooney on the edge of the area. He stabs it out wide towards Shinnie. Space for the cross, high to the far post, and in the end it's very good defending inside the penalty area from Bryan to chest the ball down under extreme pressure and then volley the ball clear, but once again it doesn't stick with Mitrovic.
No, it doesn't. No, he's been very quiet actually. Normally he's in the thick of it, he's holding the ball up. It's not happened for him so far. Not had a great deal of service to feed off. A lot of the passes have been played out in front of him. That was a good ball in from the left-hand side. Again, Shinnie at the heart of everything good that the home side are doing. It's been a terrific start from him.
And Aleksandar Mitrovic speaking at great length in the piece in the Daily Mail about his love of chess, which is probably surprised some Newcastle fans who used to see him get sent off on a regular basis and wasn't quite as cerebral as maybe he is now.
Absolute loose cannon, wasn't he? Yeah, you were lucky if he sorted out 90 minutes, that's for sure. But no, look, we all mature, don't we, at different stages in our life. And
he's still only 25, so he's still only a young player.
He's still 25, goodness me. But yeah, look, if chess helps him, good on him. I do feel that the modern footballer will always look for ways of improving themselves. It's a game of fine margins. If that works for him, fair play.
Now Rooney inside the penalty area, brings the ball down superbly down the left, finds Forsyth, it's swept in just beyond a lunging Waghorn, and Derby County there inches away from the opening goal, and Wayne Rooney was superb in the build-up.
Yeah, that was much better from Philip Cocu's side, moving the ball quickly, And in the end, I think he's just got to calm down a little bit, Forsyth there. He played the first time cross. It felt like it was a slight rush of blood to the head. He put way too much pace on it, which made sure it was out of Waghorn's reach. But the quality of the build-up play was excellent, and Rooney at the heart of it. I was thinking about the chess. I wonder if he's got a partner he could play with on a Friday night at the team hotel. I mean, back in the day, it'd just be cards or PlayStations, you know. So
yeah, it's got to be a more benefit than watching Love Island or, you know, what's that game they were all playing? Fortnite, isn't it? Is it Fortnite?
Yeah.
All the England team are playing it in the World Cup.
Look, I don't mind a game of FIFA, a bit of football.
Yeah, I play FIFA with my son. Yeah. I mean, he knows much more about football than I did when I was 11. So, but then again, I wasn't watching all the players on the computer screen all the time.
But yeah, no, I just wonder. I suppose you can play against the computer in chess, can't you? So maybe he doesn't need a partner in the dressing room.
Maybe a laptop gets thrown out the window at the training ground. Anyway, 21 minutes played, 0-0 here at Pride Park. A game of real significance to both teams. Fulham, although they were shocked by that 3-0 loss against Barnsley last week, 6 wins, 3 draws and 2 defeats since 3 defeats in a row before Christmas, when their hopes looked to be slipping away. They were 12 points behind Leeds at that stage. They'll move level with them again tonight, and they were above them for only 4 minutes during that game against Millwall before that controversial equalising goal.
Doesn't really matter, does it, where you are during the course of the season? No. It's all about where you are after 46 games.
Wayne Rooney has a free kick 10 yards inside the Fulham half. Bits of paper being flown around on the breeze here as Clark controls inside the area, fires in the shot, and it's an excellent save by Rodak, who got down really quickly to push that ball away with the left hand, and he was fortunate it fell to a Fulham boot.
Stunning save, it really is, from Marek Rodak. Full stretch, left arm. Matt Clark did ever so well from the Rooney free kick. Fulham defence was absolutely stationary. They all stopped. He controlled the ball, was first to react. He lashes it across the keeper. That's top class, it really is, from the Fulham custodian. He may have had a nightmare last time out, but he's made up for it there.
Darren Bond, the referee, has given Fulham a free kick on the halfway line. There is a player down just outside the centre circle, and it's Tom Cairney, the captain, who was clattered into, I think, by Max Bird, and the medical team aren't coming on. Cairney is back to his feet, and Tom Cairney, the only survivor at the start of this game from the Fulham midfield last week, and I'm not so sure he was any worse than McDonald or Onamar, but he wears the armband.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, look, every manager has their favourites, don't they? And I like Cairney. I think he's a class act at this level, but I think Scott Parker is strong enough to drop him if he feels that's the right thing for the team. I don't think he's afraid to make difficult decisions. I've been impressed by Scott Parker. I think he's growing into the role. He's obviously learning on the job. One thing I'm surprised about tonight is that he's not wearing a coat. What's he thinking?
Maybe it's a sign of strength just to wear the suit. Or maybe he's got layers underneath we can't see.
It's not a night for just the jacket, I'm sorry.
Here is Ream now, wide towards Knockaert on the right, swings in the left-footed cross, looking for Mitrovic. Excellent defending from Davis to win the header, and then an equally important second header from Bird to avoid it dropping to Cairney inside the penalty area. Cairney now looks to win it back, but it's cleared away by Wisdom wide to the far side. Knight then runs into the challenge of Bryan, and Fulham win it back again.
It was a wonderful ball in from Anthony Knockaert, and that's why I'm surprised he's got so few assists this season, especially with Mitrovic attacking those in-swinging crosses, that wonderful left foot of his. It was a really good ball, and you're right to point out Curtis Davis. He stuck to Mitrovic like glue there and won the duel.
Now an excellent ball down the line for Bryan, who burst into the area, but he's offside. He doesn't keep the ball in play anyway. But Alexander Mitrovic is quick to applaud the early pass forward there from Tom Cairney, and it's that sort of incisive ball that Fulham need more of.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the first half of the season they played way too much football in front of the opposition, cutting inside. It didn't have that dynamism. What they've now got is more of a willingness for the fullbacks to overlap. They're being less cautious. I think early on, Scott Parker, his inclination was to say to the fullbacks, hang on, hold fire, don't take too many risks. Now I think he realises we need the penetration that the likes of Joe Bryan can offer down that side, and it gives midfielders like Tom Kearney someone to hit. It's lovely to have a runner make that forward run for you, and he did a good run there, just went slightly too early.
Mitrovic with 21 goals so far this season, 44% of Fulham's overall tally, and they've been worth 20 points on their own, which is great, but you'll be looking at other players wondering why they haven't stepped up, because if they had, they could be above West Brom.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, I think there are members of this team that probably should be
Knockaert 4 goals
now, yeah.
I mean, Cavallero 6 goals is okay. Yeah. Reed's got 5 goals. You need somebody else in double figures, don't you?
You do, but everything revolves around Mitrovic, doesn't it? I just wish I'd backed him. I didn't. I think at the start of this season, I think you could have got a good price on Mitrovic. You know, well odds against on him being the leading scorer in the division. I know it's not sewn up yet. Ollie Watkins is probably his stiffest competition, but providing he stayed fit, I thought he was bound to score 25 to 30 goals, and that's exactly where he's headed.
And we'll be featuring Ollie Watkins and Brentford 12:30 tomorrow on TalkSport 2 as part of game day. Brentford against Blackburn, who are coming up on the rails just outside the top 6. Full commentary of that game, followed by Southampton against Aston Villa, our exclusive Premier League commentary at 3, which will be followed by the full-time phone-in with Adrian Durham. And on Sunday on TalkSport 2, a double helping of rugby from the Union Code, Exeter against Northampton, followed by Wigan against Hull, as Mitrovic tries to flick a ball in at the near post. Clark maybe just got a touch before him, but here is Johansson now down the right-hand side, finding Reed, right-hand side of the penalty area, twisting and turning towards the byline, clips in the cross, Mitrovic with a header, and it's straight at Ben Hamer.
Well, it's an easy save in the end. Brilliant build-up play again from Fulham. Bobby Reed twisting and turning his way past Craig Forsyth. He embarrassed the left back there, went past him with ease, dug out a nice cross, and the header. He's sort of having to pedal backwards, Mitrovic. That's why there's not so much power on the header. Before that, Anthony Knockaert made a really smart run to the left-hand channel, popped up unexpectedly, and fizzed a cracking ball across the face of goal, just inches away from Mitrovic. So yeah, Knockaert and Reed coming into the game more and more now.
28.5 minutes played on TalkSport 2, the home of the EFL. It's Derby 0, Fulham 0, as Wisdom plays a ball in field which is not gathered by Bird, and here is Johansson for Fulham, quickly into the feet of Reed, and now wide to the far side again, and Bryan. And Fulham here are dominating the ball, but Ben Hamer's not really had a serious shot to save so far.
Yeah, I think that's an absolutely fair assessment. They're the better side by miles, aren't they, Fulham? But they're not producing enough decent efforts on goal. Derby, I've been slightly disappointed with the way they're looking after the ball when they win it back. They're giving it away too cheaply. When they have got in and around the final third, Derby have actually shown more penetration than Fulham, but they're just finding it a real struggle to get out of their own half at the moment.
Knockaert was just clipped by Lawrence right in front of us, and he did go down rather cheaply, and as a former Leicester man, the Derby fans in the main stand weren't too happy about that. And now a free kick's been given, and Darren Bond is very deliberately pulling out the vanishing spray and sending Knockaert back towards the byline where the original offence took place.
Just looking at the Derby wall, it's about 20 yards away. Yes. They've just realised, actually we can get much closer here. Not sure you need two men here for a wide free kick on the touchline. No. But there you go.
Knockaert will take the free kick, swung into the penalty area, and it was Waghorn rising to glance a header behind, and Fulham have their first corner.
Yeah, really wicked delivery from Anthony Knockaert again. He's been excellent last 15 minutes. We know that he's got the ability to deliver quality, and he's showing that this evening. Difficult ball to defend, and Waghorn just gets something on it. Nothing he could do but put it behind for a corner. Fulham knocking on the door here.
And it's going to be Knockaert who will take the corner from the far side. An outswinger. Kearney lurking with intent on the edge of the box, but it's in towards the near post. Adoy tries to guide a volley towards goal, arriving late, and it's beyond the near post into the side netting.
It wasn't the best corner kick I've ever seen. Adoy did pretty well to be the first to it at the near stick, but difficult to divert that inside the post from a position that was in advance of the near post, if you like. So yeah, another half chance occurs, but yeah, we need more clear-cut opportunities for Fulham. They are dominating this game without creating enough for the likes of Mitrovic.
Derby with 9 wins, 6 draws and only 2 defeats at home. They've had a difficult campaign, really inconsistent, indicated by their overall record of won 11, drawn 11 and lost 11, as Rooney gathers now 20 yards out on the edge of the penalty area, twists away from the challenge of Reed, lofts it wide to the right hand side. Waghorn will keep the ball in play. Bryan comes in with a challenge which was untidy, but so too was the response from Waghorn, and it's a free kick to Fulham.
Yeah, he's been quiet, hasn't he, Wayne Rooney, in terms of the number of moments he's touched the ball, but almost every time he has had the ball at his feet, Wayne Rooney, he's done something that's had a positive impact for Derby. So I think the key for them and for Koku is to find a way to get him on the ball more frequently. They certainly need to work a little bit harder to win it back from Fulham. It's too easy. They're coasting their way through this game at the moment, and when you're on home turf, or when you're travelling rather, it should be difficult. It should be every time you have the ball, you should be put under pressure. I don't think Derby are doing that.
Now Kearney down the left-hand side, looking to drive towards the byline. He's maintained possession, drives in the cross, which is cleared back towards Kearney. Onto the edge of the penalty area, Mitrovic turns onto his left foot. His shot, though, was blocked by Wisdom, and it will ricochet away to the far side. Then it's really hoisted high into the air by Bryan, almost outside the penalty area. I thought Lawrence used his hand there to clear the ball, but here is Adoy now with the opportunity to break into the penalty area down the right-hand side. His cross, though, was behind all the red shirts, and it's out on the far side for a throw-in.
Just the final ball that's missing.
That was a dreadful ball in there from Bryan. It's so unlike him.
Yes. Look, in his defence, if you are brave in the way that you cross the ball and you don't play the safe option, you don't go for the easy side foot, if you really try and put some whip on it, every now and again you can be made to look a fool, and I think that's what happened there. It's also much more blustery out there at pitch level than what we can feel in the stands here. It's not a nice night for football.
No, you can see lots of crisp packets and other pieces of detritus being blown around the playing surface at the moment, as Kearney plays it wide to the far side. Reed catches Knight in the face, and he's penalised. The free kick's been given. I don't think it was a deliberate high foot from Bobby Reed. I just don't think he knew that Knight was there.
Just a forwards tackle, isn't it? Yeah, nothing malicious from Bobby Reed, who kind of needs to kick on, I think, with his career. I remember him at Bristol City. He was dynamite that season.
Yeah, 19 goals 2 seasons ago.
He was spectacular. I watched Bristol City a few times for TalkSport 2 that year, and he was so impressive as a lone striker often, or as a floating number 10. Here he's being used out wide, and I have to say that's not his best position. He's absolutely not a natural winger, Bobby Reed.
Well, some frustration there from the home crowd. Curtis Davis had the opportunity to play a free kick forward, but instead went all the way back to Ben Hamer. Arter now controls the ball on his chest despite the handball appeals from the home crowd, as Fulham look to move forward again now with Knockaert in the central area. 34 minutes played, 0-0 here at Pride Park on TalkSport 2. Coming up on TalkSport tomorrow, 2 huge games from the Premier League, either side of Game Day Live with Adrian Durham. Chelsea Spurs at 12:30, and I'll be at the King Power for Leicester against Manchester City at 5:30. And your verdict will be on the air until 10 o'clock before the build-up to Wilder Fury 2. Now an opportunity for Derby to break on the edge of the penalty area. Bird slides it into Lawrence, who cuts infield onto his right foot. The low shot turned aside superbly by Rodak.
That's a second fantastic save from Rodak. Lawrence on his right foot there, just drifts inside a couple of men, strikes it really sweetly. It's heading towards the bottom corner, but 2 strong hands divert it behind the goal there from the Fulham keeper. Excellent from him.
Everybody anticipating that Lawrence would let fly sooner, but in the end it was a more deliberate effort. Rooney will take the corner on the far side. An outswinger. It's Davis who heads it towards goal. Waghorn will try and retrieve it along with Forsyth on this near side, and in the end Forsyth's cross hits Waghorn and goes behind for a goal kick.
It's a shame, you couldn't get out of the way there as the bouncing ball. They both chased down the loose ball, and it wasn't to be. But yeah, Rodek has had an excellent first half, hasn't he?
Maybe he believes he owes his team one.
He does.
Maybe it's one or two.
He definitely owes them one. I mean, all three goals you could ask big question marks from him, particularly the second one, which was where he went walkabout, made it so easy.
Let's be honest, it wasn't the fact that Rodek was terrible the reason that Fulham lost. Everybody was terrible.
Oh, it was a pitiful performance. It was kind of out of character, really, under Scott Parker. We all have those off days. It was just a horrible day for everybody, but he bore the brunt of it because his mistakes were so visible. But what character he's showing here tonight. Manager stuck with him. 2 big saves. We've been saying all half, Fulham comfortably the more accomplished team here, but it's their own keeper that's the busier.
In many ways that sums up aspects of their season so far. If they don't provide Mitrovic with the ammunition, then there aren't enough other players stepping up to fill the breach. As Brian is challenged by Knight on the far side. It's a hurried clearance from the left back, but in the end he gets a throw in. But Fulham here, as we approach half time, rather losing their way in terms of an attacking force, that they're feeding off scraps.
Yeah, they are. It's been a strange half, really. I've been impressed with a lot of the football that those red shirts have produced, but you've got to test Ben Hamer more often than they have. Mitrovic very much on the periphery of this game, and Derby are doing what you have to do when you don't have the bulk of possession. They're striking quickly. Once they get it, they're moving it to the forward players efficiently and catching Fulham off guard, and that's why they've found more incision.
Well, last week against Barnsley, Fulham had 60% possession, 21 shots, 7 on target, 10 corners, and lost 3-0.
Yeah.
And tonight they've had nearly 60% of the possession, but it's Derby who've had more shots and more shots on target.
Yeah, they're slicing through far easier.
Now Shinnie has given the ball away to Johansson. It's gathered by Kenny. Arter again finding Johansson. And Fulham had that midfield trio who popped the ball around so efficiently during their promotion season. They were so good. A player of Ollie Norwood's quality couldn't even get in the side. But it's been a bit more laboured at times recently. But Reid with a lovely body swerve to evade Curtis Davis on the far side, finding Kenny. But it's back to Ream again, and now Harry Arter at the base of their midfield. Johansson was demanding the ball inside the centre circle, but it's wide to the right, and Odoi clipped into the channel looking for Johansson, but it's intercepted comfortably by Shinnie. Shinnie now finding Forsyth, and Clark given the opportunity to run the ball clear, but Knockaert was all over him, so it's back towards Hamer, and here is Forsyth in the left back position again, but his ball forward is cut out well by Arter. But in the end, a lack of communication between Johansson and Knockaert, and it dribbles away out of play for a throw into Derby.
Yeah, it was a shame there, but what caught my eye in that passage was Anthony Knockaert's desire. Really worked hard to close down the white-shirted defenders, not once, not twice, but 3 times in quick succession.
Now Bird chasing a long ball forward. He has to take the long way around Harry Arter, who did his best to obstruct him, and in the end Tim Ream was pressurised by the teenager, and it's a corner to Derby on this near side.
Well, yeah, that's excellent. His manager will be thrilled with him there, Philip Koku. Max Bird pressing, and he got his reward there. Ream got flustered, it has to be said, and he's given away a needless corner. Rooney's over it. What can they produce here then?
5 minutes to play in the first half. Rooney will take the corner on this near side, and it will be another in-swinger again, and it's a deeper delivery, a really good one, almost went straight in. Rodek has to fling himself across to the near post and punch the ball away.
He's trying to score there, Wayne Rooney. I've got no doubt in my mind he's trying to score. I used to do it myself when it was a windy day, when the wind was with you. Just whip it in at pace and ask the question of the keeper. And boy, did he there. Rodak did excellently. 2 fists on the ball to palm it away.
Now Mitrovic on this near side. Treads over a couple of crisp packets before finding Kenny. There's a late challenge there by Waghorn on Arter, and it could be the game's first yellow card.
He is late. I think Arter's making a slight meal of it. He's down on the deck at the moment, and I always think it's a giveaway when they look up, look to see whether the referee's given a card or not. I think that's what Arter's looking for, and it appears that his wish will be granted. It was not naughty from Waghorn. It was just late,
and he escapes a booking.
I think
had that been the Premier League, that would have been a yellow card.
100%. Yeah, but I think the referee has made the right call there. But Harry Arter very deep compared to the rest of the Fulham midfield. He's practically a third centre back when they're building play up from the back.
Johansson with the free kick, square to Ream, and then back towards Hector. As Fulham look to open things out down this right-hand side, Adoy, but in the end he goes all the way back towards Rodak, and Fulham did absolutely nothing with that free kick, almost on the halfway line. But here is Hector, drifted forward into the body of Mitrovic, who does well to roll Clark, but coming in behind him was Davis to volley the ball up towards Rooney, who tries to control the ball on his thigh, but his control just evades him on this occasion, and Fulham have the ball back again. 0-0 in a game of very few chances so far.
It's almost as if Rooney is playing as a second striker tonight.
Yeah.
He's certainly more advanced than he was on his debut when I was here a few weeks back against Barnsley, actually, where he was an orthodox central midfielder. Here, I'd suggest he's almost playing as a front man. Not seen enough of the ball. They need to get him on it more frequently.
Maybe he believes that, particularly possibly against Tim Ream, he may get some joy.
Yeah, well, what he does is drop into pockets, Wayne Rooney, and that might draw Hector out. He might draw Ream out of position, which frees up space for somebody else. I see the logic of playing him further forward, because you have to go with him. You can't give him time, Wayne Rooney. Someone's got to get tight to him, and if it's a centre half, it means there's a gap elsewhere, a really important gap.
Now Kenny, midway inside the Fulham half, on the far side, the left, infield towards Ream again as we tick towards the final minute of normal time in the first half, and once again it breaks down for Fulham. They give the ball away, and then a free kick's conceded for a challenge on Waghorn, and it's a free kick for Derby, and at times Fulham are going nowhere very quickly.
Yeah, it's very bitty, isn't it? Quite scrappy. And I think the last 10 minutes it's got even more so. Lots of niggly fouls. Hopefully the two managers will go in at half-time and come up with some positive game plans to take the game by the scruff of the neck. At the moment we're seeing two informed teams kind of cancelling each other out.
Hamer controls inside his 6-yard area, clears it high and wide to the far side, but Reed steps in before Wisdom to head it down into the path of Kearney, but he himself is robbed, and now Wisdom maybe has a problem here as he's lost the ball and has just gone down on his haunches momentarily, the Derby right back. But Fulham will try and build on this near side there, right. Adoy back towards Hector, and once again the pressing from Derby's front players has been very good, and Fulham are not really been given the opportunity to pick the passes they would like here.
It's just a shape, isn't it? You can see that they've worked very hard on the training ground to know exactly where to be whenever the ball moves. It's good organisation from Koku's team this evening. Out of possession.
A back pass has been given here. Ben Hamer gathered the ball inside the area. He's saying the final touch was off a Fulham player. Darren Bond has given the back pass. The fourth official is in conversation with Darren Bond, and
he's made a mistake.
He's made a mistake, yeah. I thought it went back via a Fulham player.
Yeah, it did. And I think he was just talked round there, the referee, wasn't he, very quickly by both sets of managers.
Well, it's interesting. It was Robert Jones, the fourth official, on the halfway line, who said it was played through by a Fulham player, not the assistant, Mark Jones, on this near side, who was about 50 yards closer.
Yeah, he made a mistake, the linesman there. But look, thankfully, common sense has prevailed. They've had a little chin wag, and they've decided, hang on, we got that one wrong. no harm done.
And for the first time this evening, there'll be a minimum of one added minute. We see Philip Cocu on the edge of the Derby technical area.
Yeah, he doesn't like to get heavily involved. You see, he's not particularly vocal, Philip Cocu. I saw him on a train recently.
Really?
Yeah, he was standing. He had to stand the whole way. I felt quite sorry for him.
I was going to say, what were you doing in first class?
I didn't offer my seat. Yeah, no, I wasn't in first class.
He's been going around saying, Adrian Clark was sat there. Anyway,
let me tell you, it wasn't a posh train.
No. Anyway, that is half time. And it's been a first half which hasn't really lived up to the billing so far. Derby forcing a couple of really good saves from Marek Rodak, but Fulham, a side coming here with the opportunity to move level with Leeds, have been rather underwhelming. And at half-time, it's Derby County 0, Fulham 0. Thank you, Dan. There don't look to be any changes at half-time, so here are the two sides again. Derby, Hamer in goal, Wisdom, Davis, Clark and Forsyth, Shinnie and Bird anchoring midfield behind Knight, Rooney, Lawrence and Waghorn. Fulham, Rodak in goal, Odoi, Hector, Ream and Bryan, Kearney, Arter and Johansson in midfield, Knockaert and Reid either side of Mitrovic. And it's Derby in their white shirts, black shorts and white socks who get the second half underway. Wayne Rooney with the kick-off. Derby playing from left to right in the second half. Fulham in their change strip of all red. And there are a number of empty black seats around Pride Park. The stadium some way short of capacity. And on the evidence of the opening 45 minutes, those who stayed away may believe they made a pretty good decision. But 3 points for either side. Really important here. For Fulham, it would lift them level on points with Leeds, and with Derby, they could be within 6 points of the playoff places. And with everybody seeming to play everybody else at the moment, you could always make up ground.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's wide open. It's there for someone. You just got to string a winning streak together, haven't you? Wayne Rooney's definitely playing as a centre forward, by the way. I'm not sure. I'm not convinced he started the game in that position, but he is a partner right now for Waghorn. Be interesting to see what happens if he wants to bring on Chris Martin. Will Waghorn make way? Will he move Rooney into a different position? He certainly won't want to take him off.
The two benches for Derby: Roos the goalkeeper, Lowe, Bogle, Marriott, Martin, Joseph Zoon and Sibley, Louis Sibley, an 18-year-old who's played so well for Derby's under-19 side in the UEFA Youth League, as Fulham look to break themselves now. Johansson with a burst into the penalty area, halted by Davis, who slices the ball behind, and Fulham have the first corner of the second half.
How many times did we see that in the first half? I can't remember Johansson making a burst into the opposition danger zone. He did it, didn't get the ball, but he forces the mistake from Davis and they have a corner,
which Kearney will take, and this will be an in-swinger from the far side. It's been left in the end to Bryan. Bryan's delivery towards that near post met well by Davis. Kearney now controls on the right corner of the Derby penalty area. A lovely turn from Knockaert to spin, and a back heel from Bryan. He was looking for Kearney, but it doesn't quite come off, and Derby have a throw in. The Fulham bench for you: Bettinelli, their goalkeeper, Christie, Sessegnon, McDonald, Cavallero, Camara and Cabano.
Yeah, options for sure. If you're Scott Parker, I would certainly be looking at Camara. Could be the kind of game where he could explode into life and really open things up for them. Caballero is a potential match winner as well. Scored a number of goals from outside the box this season.
And now it's driven in from Johansson towards goal, and it will go down as a rare shot on target for Fulham in this game, although in the end Hamer gathered comfortably.
Yeah. I mean, it'll go down as a save, but he could have thrown his cap on that one, really, Hamer. Had a very comfortable night so far. But the early signs suggest that Fulham are playing with a slight edge in the second half. I feel that Scott Parker might have had words at the interval, and there seems to be more energy about them. Look at this, pressing higher up the pitch as well. Mitrovic, then Knockaert.
Knockaert slides in, but can't win it back from Clark, but Forsyth then runs it out of play with options ahead of him down the left-hand side, and it's a throw-in for Fulham. But Bobby Reid has a problem here. He just clashed with Andre Wisdom, who is also clutching his left hamstring, but Reed seemed to have a problem with his Achilles straight away and has now gone down for treatment.
Yeah, worrying moments for him and for Fulham, really. You won't want to lose Bobby Reed for a period of games. He's a potential match winner, that's for sure. He can score goals, neat finisher. I feel that he's not in his best position. I'd love to see Bobby Reed as a partner to Mitrovic, just playing in off him, but it doesn't seem as if Parker wants to fiddle too much with the formation. But if he does make way, the obvious replacement would be Cavallero from the left-hand side. Cuts in nicely on his right.
I mean, there may be a time when Fulham have to play Reed alongside Mitrovic, or maybe as a number 10 with the two wide players. I mean, it would be very exciting to see, but maybe at this stage of the season, Parker believes it's right to be slightly more cautious.
He likes this formation, doesn't he? It's the way he wants to play. A lot of it's built around the movement of the midfielders, trying to create overloads in that engine room. But is it effective enough? Probably not often enough.
People have seen this before. 2 years ago it worked, but that's because they also had Sessegnon, who was a flying machine down the left hand
100%.
side.
You need pace. You need pace around it. It's great having these technical players, but you need athleticism. And I've been banging on about it the last 5 minutes. You need runners to disrupt the opposition shape, and I don't think they really play in that way, and that's to their detriment. That's why I think Camara could be a good addition in this second half, because he's willing to make those dynamic forward runs on the angle. But yeah, a central midfielder that breaks the lines, I think, is crucial for Fulham moving forwards. They don't really have one. Arter could do it. He used to do that.
Yeah.
But he's playing in the deepest role. So you could say, is he playing in the position that suits him best? Personally, I don't think so.
5 minutes played in the second half. 0-0 here at Pride Park on TalkSport 2. Rooney with a dummy on the edge of the penalty area. Hector then nudges over Waghorn, but in the end, Waghorn has been penalised for offside right on the edge of the box.
He's a lucky boy, Hector, because he did go through the back of Waghorn. It would have been a free kick inside the D. So he's fortuitous there.
Fulham look to burst forward again, but Kenny then checks back. But here is Ream now, moving forward towards this near side, the left. Bryan providing the width. He looks to step away beyond Knight and head towards the byline, and it's a low ball in towards that near post, and Mitrovic was waiting, but it was Clark who got there first to sky the ball high over the top from the corner.
Yeah, almost a classic Bryan-Mitrovic combo there. Flies down the left-hand side as a full-back. He's really strong. He's aggressive in the way he holds off Jason Knight. Delivers a quality cross, low one towards the near stick. Mitrovic is there, but he doesn't get there first.
Corner for Fulham on this near side, which Johansson will take. Knockaert offers the shorter option, but he's waved away, and Johansson drives it high towards the far post. It's headed clear by Lawrence up towards the edge of the penalty area. Now Ream will gather on the halfway line. A long left-footed ball from him, wide to the far side. Mitrovic will control with his back to goal, and it's all the way back towards Odoi on the halfway line. Arter will take over, find Odoi again, and Odoi is quickly closed down, and he goes down as a challenge is made by Lawrence, and the officials and the assistant Akil Housen on the far side has given just a throw into Derby. And once again, Fulham had an attacking platform and didn't use it.
No, they've been wasteful, that's for sure, but I'm seeing positive signs. There's a bit more vibrancy about them. Can they translate that into a more efficient performance inside the Derby half? Let's wait and see.
Derby's record against the top six this season is not good. 1 win, 2 draws and 3 defeats, and they play 5 of the current top 6 in their final 7 games. So if they are to get into the playoffs or anywhere near it, they'll do it the hard way. Rooney with a high ball forward again towards Waghorn, who controls on the edge of the penalty area. Wisdom with a volley left-footed. Well, he's never scored a league goal, but he wasn't too far away there.
Wasn't the worst strike I've ever seen. Left-footed, it bounces up quite high for him, but he takes a swing at it. Great connection from Wisdom, but the ball is always soaring away from that far top corner. I was looking at some stats for Fulham ahead of kickoff. When they've scored first this season, they've won 15 and drawn 3. Pretty imperious front runners. So you can understand why Derby have worked so hard on frustrating
Now
them.
Brian's clearance has ricocheted into the path of Waghorn, who goes down inside the area, and a penalty is given. Tim Ream also made the challenge. It could possibly be handball against the American, but Martin Waghorn's industry created the error and then won the penalty.
That's what you get when you press the opposition, when you apply that pressure high up the pitch. He forced the mistake there, Waghorn. Brilliant centre forward play. No major complaints from Tim Ream. He flicked the ball up, the arm came out, referee did not hesitate, and Wayne Rooney has the ball in his hands.
And on his 500th league appearance, Wayne Rooney has the opportunity to give Derby County the lead. It is Wayne Rooney up against Marek Rodak. Rooney has created so many milestones throughout his career, and here is an opportunity for another one here. Rooney being made to wait, but now Wayne Rooney will step up, right-footed, and he dinks it down the centre, and Wayne Rooney marks his 500th league appearance with an impudent finish. So much confidence, so much quality from Wayne Rooney, and on his big night he delivers yet again. It's Derby 1, Fulham 0.
I love it, I absolutely love it. He's playing in his 500th league game in English football. All eyes are on Wayne Rooney. Will he fluff his lines? No chance. He dinks it Panenka style down the middle. That is cheeky, and you've got to admire it.
But that is vintage Wayne Rooney, and on his 500th league appearance he gives us yet another reminder of his quality and what he can bring to any side at any level.
So calm, wasn't he? You never felt Wayne Rooney was going to miss there. Extremely focused, but that's an assist for Martin Waghorn, chasing down the Fulham defenders inside their own box. Brilliant from him.
And Wayne Rooney has now scored 13 goals against Fulham.
He loves them. Yeah,
that's his first one for Derby County, as Reid fires a shot in from the edge of the penalty area, and it swirls high over the top for Fulham.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what Fulham are made of here. I question their characters slightly ahead of kick-off by looking at that defeat at home to Barnsley and saying, did they fancy it? Were they complacent? Well, 1-0 down. We'll see if they're prepared to roll up their sleeves and fight for this.
Brian clears on this near side. Reid was then cleaned out by Rooney, and it's a free kick for Fulham, which they take quickly. Fulham trailing in this game. Usually one goal has been enough for them to win games recently, but not here tonight, and this could be a third match without a victory at a time in the season when they had the opportunity to step up to the next level. Now Reid on the edge of the penalty area. It's poked away by Clark. And let's not forget, a win here for Derby, and they'll be within 6 points of the playoff places, as Reid is challenged on the edge of the area, and he's fouled by Davis, and it will be a free kick here in a very promising area for Fulham.
Yeah, this is certainly within range for a number of those players wearing red shirts for Fulham today. I think Knockhart's got the ball and he's saying, well, I want to have it, but that's not going to be the case. Mitrovic has put it down. He's eyeing it up, that's for sure. Arta's there lurking, so's Kearney. Just looking at Fulham's record when they've gone 1-0 down. It's happened 13 times. They've only claimed 6 points from those 13 games where they've gone 1-0 down. So the signs don't look good for them. They need that quick response now.
6 away wins this season. Only Preston have won fewer in the top 8. And this is a real test of character for them here. A number of Fulham fans have expressed doubts about Scott Parker's management, and if they lose here tonight, those calls, those groups may grow. But Mitrovic is over the free kick. Johansson acts as the decoy, and it's Mitrovic who curls it, and in the end it's a comfortable save for Ben Hamer.
It was pretty obvious what Mitrovic wanted to do there, curling the ball over the wall. The keeper read it very smartly, skipped to his right, easy catch.
Ream does well to step in before Rooney and clear downfield, but now it's headed back over the top by Davis and gathered by Marek Rodak once again. And Scott Parker very animated on the edge of the Fulham technical area.
Doesn't stop moving, does he? He's constantly prowling.
Like he was as a player.
Yeah, that's right. But he's urging Joe Bryan here on this near left-hand side to push on. He wants them to progress up the pitch faster. I just feel that Fulham are so slow. They waste so many minutes per match going from side to side. Need more of those vertical passes that break the lines.
Well, they have the best striker in the Championship, so use him.
Yeah,
exactly. We'll get the best out of him at least.
How many times have they, as a midfielder, passed the ball into the feet of Mitrovic tonight? I can't remember it happening.
It's all sideways and backwards. Here is Reed, looking to do that now, and he plays it wide. And there's an opportunity for Fulham to break with Johansson into the penalty area. It's cleared as far as Knockaert. Knockaert onto his left foot, maybe thought about the shot, but instead goes square towards Bryan. Bryan, rather compressing the play, fires it in right-footed, and it's a trundler gathered by Ben Hamer.
Good words. It was a trundler. Pretty easy. It was one of those you'd have to make a real howler if you're the keeper to let that one in. It bobbled towards him. Weaker right foot.
An hour played at Pride Park on TalkSport 2, the home of the EFL. Derby leading Fulham here by a 1-0. Wayne Rooney with a penalty on his 500th league appearance, and that is his 211th goal. He's also had 105 assists and 7 hat-tricks and scored against 37 of his 43 opponents.
Yeah, but he's underachieved, hasn't he?
Yeah.
According to some. What a joke that is. I mean, what a career. And
you don't survive in good teams unless you're a good player.
Of course you don't, and I really admire his enthusiasm for the game. He could have packed it in by now. He could have gone for the easy life, but he still wants to get out there, get his hands dirty, and he just loves it as much now, it would appear, as he did as that 16-year-old wearing the blue of Everton. It's such a long career.
Well, he spent more than half his life in the media spotlight, playing football either at or fairly close to the highest level. As Arthur gathers for Fulham, finds Reid, who cuts in field from the left-hand side. Here is Johansson. Kenny again, 61 minutes played. Fulham need to step things up here, trailing by 1-0. Kenny plays the ball inside the fullback, looking for Bryan. Bryan delivers the cross in, and Mitrovic went with a high kick when maybe, had he gone with his head, he may have scored.
That's their best avenue, no question. That triangle, Tom Kearney, middle of the park, bisects the centre half and the fullback. Beautiful diagonal pass for the run of Bryan. Bryan whips it in for Mitrovic. We've seen that combo work over and over again this season, and it nearly did there.
Now Knockaert, square to Kenny again, but Fulham are finding it difficult to make headway here inside a blustery Pride Park. There's a huge Derby County Super Rams banner dividing the two sets of supporters on the far side, and it's billowing at the moment as Fulham concede another free kick, a challenge on Rooney, and a yellow card is shown as well, the first of the evening.
Pats on the back all round for the skipper. It's a great pen, wasn't it? Obviously you look silly if the goalkeeper just stands there and catches it, but yeah, very, very calm.
Darren Bond once again is attracting the ire of the Fulham players, but there was no question about the penalty. There could have been 2 penalties. There was the handball and the challenge on Whitehall.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think it was for the handball, but there was no complaints from Ream.
Now Whitehall on the chase again. He's in behind Bryan on this near side, and the ball will eventually go behind, but Whitehall knew all along that Derby would have the corner kick, which they do.
Can they extend their lead? We know that Rooney's got good deliveries. I'd always feel he's better with these outswingers as well. Derby got some big players inside that box. Curtis Davis is always dangerous here. Matt Clark as well. Forsyth from left back, he's come up.
Harry Arter was the player booked for Fulham earlier on as Wayne Rooney prepares to take the corner. It's an outswinger, chipped high to the far post. Clark with a header did well to direct it towards goal, falling backwards, but it's a comfortable save for Marek Rodak.
Yeah, no bother at all for Rodak there, but towering leap from Matt Clark. He's a player that I do admire. Excellent last season for Pompey. Got his big move for Brighton, and Brighton have got some good centre-halves, haven't they? Especially on loan.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Remarkable. Ben White as well, of course, at Leeds. But Matt Clark and Davis have been good tonight. I mean, they have had Mitrovic in their pocket, but I think a lot of that is down to the style of football that Fulham have produced.
Well, there is going to be a double change made by Scott Parker very soon. Camara and Cavallero will be coming on, so clearly he has lost patience with some of his attacking players.
Yeah, I mean, they are the two obvious players to bring on. Pace, invention, both have an eye for goal. He has to try something new. The only surprise to me is that it's taken 64.5 minutes for those two guys to be standing there.
Now Ream, wide to this near side, flicked around the corner by Bryan. Johansson will chase towards the edge of the area, but it's cleared by Davis for a throw-in. Here is the first of those changes, and it's Stefan Johansson who comes off, so there will be a change of shape here for Fulham.
Yeah, there will be, because there's no like-for-like replacement there. Boubacar Kamara, maybe he's going to join forces with... I think we're going to see the Reed come inside and play closer to Mitrovic. That's what I'd suggested earlier.
Anthony Knockaert comes off to be replaced by Ivan Cavallero, and it must be said there was barely a murmur from the Fulham fans.
No. What's that?
He's a big name player, Anthony Knockaert, and he's not doing it.
He isn't, no. I mean, he did whip in, I think, 3 good crosses in the first half that no one got on the end of, but that aside, he's flattered to deceive here this evening, and the stats are quite damning for him this term.
He was Championship Player of the Year not so long ago.
No, he's a guy that should be scoring 10 plus, and he should be assisting 10 plus.
Yeah.
And he's absolutely nowhere near it.
And he's 28 years of age. He should be at the peak of his career now.
Yeah, well, some players peak earlier than others, of course. And sometimes it depends on the style of team. I think of Anthony Knockaert being his best sometimes on the break, when he played for Leicester and for Brighton. When teams are stretched, he's on the break, he's got a little bit of space to run into. Fulham don't play on the break. They boss possession.
You're always getting the ball with your back to goal, aren't you?
Yeah,
standing start.
He's getting slower possession, and I think that it doesn't especially suit him. And he may look at it and think, have I made the right call coming here? And Fulham certainly will be looking at the move and thinking, well, this one hasn't come off.
As the ball has been given away by Hector, and here is Lawrence coming forward now for Derby. 66 minutes played. They lead by a goal to nil. Wayne Rooney could prove to be the match winner once again. Here is Shinnie over the halfway line on this near side, cuts in field to find Rooney, who just spins and with the economy of effort clips it wide to the far side of Forsyth. His ball forward though is cut out by Boubacar Kamara, and Clark almost in trouble, but he's fouled by Mitrovic eventually, and it's a free kick. And Clark so far has played Mitrovic pretty well.
Oh yeah, it's a big old unit, Matt Clark, and I think that it's a real heavyweight tussle between him and Mitrovic, but it's a duel that he's winning hands down right now.
Derby with 4 playoff failures in 6 years. It's unlikely still that they'll make the playoff this season, but Philip Cocker will be looking for signs that this team are beginning to gel. Of course, he had to replace so many important players who departed following the end of their loan spells, like Mount and Wilson and Tomori. Lawrence skips the ball over the shoulder of Bryan, clips in a cross which is cleared by Adoy. Now Reed will dig the ball out and find Mitrovic, flick back into the path of Reed. There's a bit of pinball around the central area before it ricochets away off Curtis Davis towards this near side, and Fulham have a throw-in, and we are beyond the midpoint of the second half here on TalkSport 2. Don't forget tomorrow Game day on TalkSport 2. Brentford against Blackburn at 12:30. Southampton against Villa at 3, followed by the full-time phone-in over on TalkSport as part of Heavyweight Weekend. Chelsea against Spurs at 12:30. Game day live with Adrian Durham. Leicester against Manchester City at 5:30, and all the build-up to Wilder against Fury 2 from 10 o'clock. And TalkSport, the only place to take in that fight free of charge.
I'm setting the alarm, 100%. It's a must listen.
Absolutely. It could be a career-defining fight for either or both of them.
Oh, yeah.
Now Adoy, down the line far side, looking for Cavallero. First real involvement, but he's challenged by Bird. And Fulham only have a throw-in, taken quickly by Adoy. Into the path of Reed.
You'll probably go the whole night through, though, won't you, Nige?
You must be joking. I couldn't go the whole night through, and I was young enough to be able to. Here is Reed on the edge of the penalty area, and he looks to pick out Cavallero, and it's beyond him and out of play. And at the moment, Reed seems to be occupying the same sort of area that Cavallero would want to work in.
Yeah, possibly. Seems to me as if Cavallero's gone on the right. We've got Cavallero's on the left. Camara on the right. I think those are the two positions that suit them, with Reed playing as the attacking midfielder. I don't want him as the attacking midfielder. Put him up there as a partner. Ask questions of Curtis Davies. Curtis Davies could have played in his slippers tonight. He's had no one to mark. Go and stand on him. Go and make some runs off of Curtis Davies and try and disrupt what's been an easy evening for him. I think that Scott Parker's got to be a bit more imaginative with his tactical approach here.
20 minutes to play on TalkSport 2. Derby 1, Fulham 0. And Fulham here on the verge of dropping more points in their quest to return to the Premier League. Here is Arta, though, finding Mitrovic, laid off to Kenny on the edge of the area, infield towards Cavallero, who comes infield and then turns into traffic, but is strong enough to win it back. His shot, though, was blocked by Lawrence. It spins into the path of Camara. The cross in is hooked in by Mitrovic, and that is an expert finish. And the chest-loving centre-forward is the grand master of the penalty area once again. And just when Fulham needed a goal, Aleksandar Mitrovic has delivered. 1-1.
That's a sumptuous volley. It really is, from Aleksandar Mitrovic. He has not had a kick all night, but in the moment that mattered, when the ball fell to him, he dispatched it with real aplomb. That was not an easy chance for Mitrovic. Class goal.
And that is the value of a goal scorer like Aleksandar Mitrovic. And the Fulham fans, who have had nothing to cheer all evening, are suddenly on their feet with 19 minutes to play.
Yeah, it was Camara who put the ball into the box. It was an okay cross. It wasn't anything special. He just made it into a quality ball with the technique of his volley. Just swung a leg at it. It was past the keeper before he knew it.
22nd goal of the season for Aleksandar Mitrovic. It is now 45 in 85 games at Fulham.
Good signing.
To say the least. Well, that is why goal scorers get the big money, because Absolutely. They come up with moments like that.
Yeah. That's why they deserve the big money. It's the hardest thing to do in football. Put it into the opposition's net. Makes it look easy. He's always in the right place. But yeah, it just goes to show as well the value of... You shouldn't judge strikers on 60, 65 minutes. Wait till the end.
Yeah.
Wait till they've had that one chance, that one Guiltez chance.
Well, he's not played badly. He's never seen the ball.
No, exactly. And my criticisms of Fulham's style of play still stand, even though they're back in the game. Cavallero at the moment looks to be centre. It's an unusual formation, but maybe a little bit more freedom for Fulham's players now. What will that do to them, though? Yeah, you just wonder what it will do to them. Will they go in search of the second, Nigel, or will they?
They've got to, haven't they?
I think so.
Time's running out as Reed looks to charge down the centre, and Wisdom will play it back towards Ben Hamer. We're getting to the stage of the season. We heard Thomas Frank at half-time. There are no second chances.
No. It's 3 points. Obviously there's a huge difference between 3 and 1 points. At this stage of the season, every 3-point haul is game-changing.
Well, Leeds are at home to Reading tomorrow on current form. you would anticipate Leeds winning that game, so Fulham have got to win this one.
Yeah,
you're never sure, I know.
Yeah.
Particularly with Leeds at home, because they can pummel sides and lose 1-0.
Well, Fulham's running's tough. They've got some really hard away games. I think Fulham's promotion prospects will be made or broken on their away form. And what they produce at Leeds, at West Bromwich Albion, at Forest, I think they've got to go to as well.
25,442 the crowd inside Pride Park. 1-1 with 17 minutes to play. Rooney with the opening goal, Mitrovic with the equaliser. And Derby now have a free kick just inside their own half. And we should be set up here for a fantastic finish. It's not been the best game we've seen this season because both sides have got to win.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's been a much better second half. Definitely more pace to it. And Derby surely have got to go for it here. If they have any, albeit faint, playoff aspirations, they'll see this as a game they need to get 3 points from as well. So we're set fair here. It should be a good 16 minutes or so.
Derby away from home twice coming up at Queen's Park Rangers and Sheffield Wednesday, and they're in the must-win territory every week at the moment as Wackhorn challenges Kearney on this near side to win a throw-in. Fulham have 2 home games coming up against sides who are vying for the playoff places, Swansea and Preston. And nobody's won more home games this season than Fulham in the Championship. But it's away from home where you often really see the measure of a side. You look how many late goals West Bromwich Albion have scored away from home so far this season.
Yeah, exactly. And not all the performances have been vintage, but they find a way to win.
Forsyth just bobs a header back towards Ben Hamer. He had a Boubacar Kamara racing towards him, and Jack Marriott will be coming on shortly for Derby.
Well, he can finish, Jack Marriott. A disappointing campaign, but he's a absolute natural predator.
With 3 goals in 29 games this season, but very few of those have been starts. As Hector brings the ball out now for Fulham, right down the centre. Transfers it wide to the right-hand side, but it's cut out by Clark, and the early ball forward will find Wackhorn, who's in a foot race with Arter as he breaks into the penalty area. Had Rooney in support, but in the end Arter recovers to concede the corner.
Oh, he's panicking there, Harry Arter. He did well in the end, but he's not the quickest. He never has been, the midfielder, and he's 1v1 against Martin Wackhorn, whose eyes lit up, I think, when he realised who he was up against. In the end, it gets slightly fortuitous, I think, Arter. Ball nicks off him out for a corner.
Wayne Rooney will take the corner on the far side. And the corner flag is being buffeted by the breeze just in front of him. Clark makes the run towards the near post. Rooney tries to find him, headed away though by Kearney. And Fulham will try and clear the penalty area very quickly. Bird under pressure here from Cavallero, pokes it back to Wisdom. He quickly plays it forward, but only into the path of Bryan, who lofts it wide to this near side. Wisdom though should get there before Kamara, but he hooks the ball straight up in the air. Davis is underneath it. Now it's gathered by Kearney, who plays it wide to Cavallero down the Fulham left. He cuts in field once again to find Kearney. Kearney has Mitrovic wide on the right-hand side, but instead he tries to find Bryan and then Kamara on the left, but the challenge comes in from Lawrence, and Fulham have a throw-in with 13 minutes to play. 1-1 at Pride Park on the home of the EFL TalkSport 2.
Double change for Derby. He really does want to go out and affect this game. Philip Cocu now.
Martin Wackhorn coming off. Jack Marriott comes on. Florian Josefzoon is the other player coming on, and it's the other teenager in the midfield, Jason Knight, who was coming off.
Yeah, he's had to do a lot of defensive work tonight, Jason Knight. Not had enough time on the ball really in forward areas to see him at his very best. Josefzoon really impressed me when he was at Brentford, but it really happened for him here.
Well, he won the Eredivisie title under Philip Cocu at PSV Eindhoven before making the move to Brentford. But he's only played 10 times in the Championship so far this season, but he's quickly on the ball here, looking to use his pace against Bryan, but he showed too much of that to Bryan and then bowls him over, and Derby concede a free kick.
Yeah, but it didn't come off for him, but it was positive. It got the crowd excited. That's what the fans want to see. It's not swashbuckling football here at Derby County. We know they've got a good home record. We know they're in a rich vein of form.
But it wasn't last season, really, was it?
It wasn't. No, you're right.
They had people like Harry Wilson and Mason Mount. Yeah, more individual quality, but
yeah, I agree. I didn't think under Frank Lampard they were awesome to watch. But yeah, they're not getting rich entertainment necessarily here at Pride Park. The supporters this season.
We were here for the 4-0 win over Stoke, and they were terrific that night. But really, that's the exception.
Yeah, I think this has been the stadium in the Championship that's seen the third fewest amount of goals in games. So they've all been fairly tight affairs.
Hamer with a clearance downfield beyond everybody and straight out of play for a goal kick.
It was poor, wasn't it? Yeah, what Fulham got here then?
Well, if they're going to get promotion automatically, they need to win games like this against sides in mid-table. Derby County do have Wayne Rooney, but you look at the overall record and they have been pretty mediocre this season, and to a certain extent Rooney has been papering over the cracks.
Difference is incredible in terms of the goals they score, Derby, the points they accrue.
Now Kenny with a burst into the area down the right-hand side for Fulham. Checks back again. Crosses in looking for Cavallero. Headed away by Wisdom. Now Bryan inside the penalty area left-hand side. Has support from Cavallero. He curls it in right-footed into a crowd. And then it's Bobby Reid with a shot. And it's across the face of goal. And it's gone behind for a corner. Somebody got a touch in there. And it was Mitrovic who almost made it 2-1.
He's dragged it. He's really dragged it there, Bobby Reid. It's a poor finish. Good chance that. 8-9 yards out, left foot on the angle. I think he has to do better.
Corner for Fulham on the far side, and it's driven in high towards the far post. Mitrovic rising, but he was right underneath the header, and it's high over the top for a goal kick.
Yeah, 2.12 goals per game here this season, so we're about on average, aren't we?
Kevin McDonald is coming on for Fulham to replace Harry Arter, and the gloves have come off for him on heavyweight weekend as McDonald just throws his mittens to the ground as he makes his way onto the field. Shay Gibbon having a word with Wayne Rooney.
Yeah, they've got quite a high profile coaching staff, haven't they, Derby?
They've always had it. I remember Nigel Clough had a couple of former players with him as well, and they all wore the squad numbers they had as a player, which if I'm a player, I'm looking at the managers thinking, leave it out.
Come on, yeah, you've had your day, mate.
Yeah.
But yeah, Shay Gibbons here, Liam Rosenior, of course, Philip Cocu, what a career he had.
But they're all looking to either make their way or prove a point. I mean, Philip Cocu had a brilliant start to his coaching career with PSV Eindhoven, but went to Fenerbahce and lasted 15 games, and he needs to prove himself again.
For sure, yeah. I think he's got quite a good owner here, Mel Morris. I don't think he's trigger happy. He said he's here for the long haul, Philip Cocu, and I've been quite critical of him this season, but I do see an improvement in his team, and I also like the fact that he gives young players a chance.
He's from that environment, though. I mean, the Dutch league, they give young players a chance. As Fulham come forward again now, Camara with a burst into the area, Cavallero with a shot over the top, and he should have scored from the edge of the area.
Inches, maybe centimetres away from finding the top corner there. Ivan Cavallero, it's a decent effort, it is on the run. He joins in, he curls it. You see exactly what he's trying to do, just bend it into that near top corner. Keeper was flat-footed, totally beaten.
8 minutes to play, 1-1 at Pride Park on TalkSport 2. Clark with a long ball forward, it breaks into the path of Rooney, quickly infield to Lawrence now, who gathers at pace. Two players in support ahead of him, but Lawrence can strike from long range. On this occasion he finds Wisdom, who cuts it back into the area. A missed kick from Josef Zoon, and a volley from Rooney which was deflected over the top.
You expect Rooney to score. It's a good chance for him, lovely move. Lawrence. Rooney started the move with a delicious pass that just teed Lawrence up. It allowed him to travel with the ball at pace. From their wisdom, nice cutback. It finds its way to Rooney, and he just slices across the ball. It's not a clean contact from him.
Rooney will take the corner on this near side. 7 minutes to play, 1-1. Rooney's delivery high towards the far post, and it's overhit on this occasion. But Lawrence will try and make something of it. Reid makes the challenge by the corner flag, and it's a goal kick in the end. And that's about the first misplaced ball we've seen from Wayne Rooney all evening.
Yeah, it's a really bad corner. Come down with snow on it. But yeah, he's been so composed. Another really solid 7-8 out of 10 performance from Wayne Rooney. Yeah, he adds a lot to this Derby side. He may be a veteran, he doesn't run around like he used to, but he's still got that class.
Now Kamara flicks on the edge of the penalty area for Fulham. Cavallero gathers on the left-hand side. Bryan on the overlap. Cavallero finds him, but the cross from Bryan was overhit. Adoy will try and recover it, but it's Lawrence who gets there first. Forsyth finding Lawrence again, who's rather pressurised by the return ball. But it's Bird who plays it forward towards the halfway line. Marriott allows it to run. Now Rooney plays it back towards Marriott, who is away for Derby on the far side there left. Coming in field beyond Hector, up towards the edge of the area. Marriott is still going. He's got Yusuf Zun in support. He has it now inside the area, right-hand side. Cuts it back low, but it's a poor ball, and Cavallero will nip in to speed away for Fulham.
That confidence there, Joseph Zun. Take him on, be positive.
Marriott again with his back to goal, midway inside the Fulham half. Plays it wide to Lawrence, who can cut infield onto that right foot again. Lawrence continues, but this time it's wide to Forsyth. It's cut back towards Bird with a shot, and it's turned aside by Rodak, and it's a corner to Derby County.
3 brilliant saves from Rodak tonight. That was sensational football from Derby, it really was. The overlap from Forsyth, the cutback, absolutely perfect for Bird, who strikes it well. Nothing wrong with his effort. Just another decent save.
Another corner for Wayne Rooney on this near side. 5 minutes to play. Derby coming on strong here. Rooney's corner high into the penalty area, not cleared by Mitrovic. Shinnie will try and get there first before Kamara. Now Wisdom. Shinnie once again plays it down the line, right-hand side. It's Forsyth popping up on the right wing, the left back looking to pressurise Ream, but it's gone behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, some of the football Derby have produced in this match has been really attractive. It's been especially incisive. They don't need half as many passes as Fulham to open up the opposition. And I've enjoyed some of the overlaps on the outside, and they've put some decent balls into the danger zone as well. It's a good performance against one of the top sides in the division.
But they need to win, as do Fulham. And it's Reid coming forward now for Fulham. Right-hand side of the area. Back to Kamara, who checks in field. Kenny in support. Kenny now tries to get the ball onto his right foot, but now Cavallero could come in field and curl it, but it's Kenny again. Fulham queuing up on the edge of the penalty area. Kenny with a left-footed shot, which was deflected, and it spins away on this near side, out of play for a throw-in.
Just couldn't make his mind up, Kearney, not decisive.
Cavallero now from the throw-in, deep inside the penalty area. Almost breaks for Mitrovic. Here is Mitrovic. It's wide towards Kamara. A low cross scuffed into the penalty area, and Derby will just about scramble the ball away.
Oh, I was a bit nervous for them there, playing their way out of trouble.
Bryan with a cross in from the left-hand side, cleared by Wisdom as far as Cavallero inside the penalty area. On the right, he'll try and hit the byline, back towards Kamara. And here is Adoy now for Fulham. Scott Parker's team piling on the pressure with 3 minutes to play here. But Derby have been given the time to rediscover their defensive shape. But here is Kamara. Almost found Mitrovic, but it's cut out by Davis. But it will come back again. Here is Ream. Reid does really well to control, almost on the ground. Finds Kamara on the edge of the penalty area. Cavallero almost picks his way through. Here is Kamara again. Kenny will try and win it back. Was he caught? No, he wasn't. That's a dive, but he should be booked.
Clear dive. See that from here.
But here are Derby on the breakaway themselves now. in the 88th minute. Wisdom down the right-hand side, finding Marriott inside the penalty area, back towards Rooney. Rooney sweeps it across. Hector will clear, back out towards Rooney again. On this near side, he's got support from Marriott down the right. Josefsson waits in the centre, and the cross is deflected and goes behind. Tim Ream got the final touch, and that's a corner.
Yeah, the substitutes for both teams have really had a positive impact on the game. Cavallero and Camara have been heavily involved, I have to say that, at the hub of everything. Certainly upgrades on what went before, and Marriott has given an injection of energy, I think, at the top end of the pitch too.
Inside the 89th minute, Rooney will take the corner for Derby again towards the near post area. Headed away though by Bryan. Shinnie will sprint back to keep it in play. Wisdom is the final man for Derby on the halfway line. He now plays it wide to Rooney down the right hand side. Flicked on to Lawrence, very clever touch. Josefsson was waiting in the centre unmarked. It's crossed in towards Josefsson. Was it scrambled over the line by Marriott? The shot is then blocked as Forsyth came steaming in, and that's a goal-saving challenge from McDonald.
How has that not ended up in the back of Fulham's net? I do not know. Must have been very close to going over the goal line. Wonderful football again. Rooney to Lawrence and the ball in. Just sensational.
But it's a throw-in for Derby on the far side as the wind gets up again. Fulham very, very fortunate to still be on level terms. Forsyth with the throw into the penalty area, cleared by Hector. Bird tries to head it back in field. Lawrence now on the edge of the penalty area, almost fell to Shinnie. Kenny will try and bring the ball clear, and he was fouled by Lawrence. Not too sure about that, but it's a free kick to Fulham.
Yeah, it's a shame. That's a signal for a number of supporters around us to head for the exits, but there might be more life in this game yet. I think there's going to be 4 minutes of injury time. We're not at that point just yet. So I think we're likely to see at least one more chance.
Well, Derby there, how they didn't score.
I can't believe it. Keeper clawed it away. That has to go down as a 4th. Outstanding save from Rodek. Wow, what a way to bounce back from a shocker.
And the clearance from Rodek bounces all the way through to Hamer, who now clears downfield once again. Marriott is underneath it, but so too is Ream. Davis returns it back over the top, but it's volley cleared by Hector. Mitrovic will challenge Clark, and there will be 4 added minutes at the end of this game. As Derby regather possession once again. Rooney now in space. He's got the overlapping Wisdom to his right, and Wisdom now can burst towards the penalty area on this near side. Low cross though, cut out by Bryan. It's another Derby corner. Yet another Derby corner in the closing stages.
Yeah, and there's the old timer Wayne Rooney legging it to the corner flag. Just wants to get on with this. Fitness level still fantastic, you've got to say.
Rooney will take the corner. Everybody back for Fulham now. Rooney's delivery high towards the far post. Mitrovic leaping to head clear, but now Wisdom cushions a header wide towards Rooney. A first time ball back into the penalty area, and the flag's up for offside, and Fulham have a free kick.
That's a shame. Great half volley cross there, left footed from Wayne Rooney, almost caused a problem. But right, this gives Fulham the chance just to regroup. Will they take the draw here? I don't think they should. I don't think
either side needs to draw, do they?
No, exactly. I think this goal kick, they're going to go long with it. Just got to somehow get hold of the ball inside Derby's half and muster up a chance.
Mitrovic does well to win it. Fulham player goes down. It's Kearney again, but I don't think he'll get too much change out to the referee after his dramatic fall earlier. But here is Cavallero now, coming square with the penalty area, finding Kearney now, just on the edge of the box. He pirouettes and finds McDonald. Square now towards Adoy. Adoy can attack the penalty area. He's got McDonald in support in field, but it's wide towards Reed, but it was a poor ball cut out by Forsyth. He just plays it long downfield, and Marriott Rodak will gather again. Fulham just taking the wrong decision at key times in key areas.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
Mitrovic again underneath the ball, flicks it into the penalty area. Wisdom will try and shepherd the ball behind. Does he push over Cavallero? Well, Wisdom there was taking a chance, but a goal kick's been given.
Yeah, he was taking a chance. Risky manoeuvre. Referee, it's been pretty lenient all night long. Didn't want to know. Just used his experience there, Wisdom.
Hamer clears downfield again. Adoy doing well to rise and head the ball forward, but it only finds Shinnie. Here is Clark now. Early ball over the top. Rooney will chase again, and Rooney will get there before Ream on this near side. Turns and tries to deliver the cross. Ream stumbles. Rooney maintains possession. He turns away from Ream. Rooney delivers the cross in towards the near post area, where it's clipped over the top, and the final touch was a Fulham touch, and Derby have a corner.
Sensational. It really is from Wayne Rooney. What skill that is. And the ball as well. Outstanding. Whisker away Marriott from converting.
Lawrence will take the corner. An in-swinger. Rooney is unmarked at the far post, actually outside the penalty area.
He's loitering, isn't he?
Yeah. Lawrence will take the corner. I think he's gone for goal, and it's turned aside by Rodak underneath the crossbar. Volley back in by Rooney, and it's over the top. And yet again, Marat Rodak preventing a goal direct from a corner.
Yeah, phenomenal performance from the Fulham goalkeeper. That was a wicked delivery from Lawrence. Did the right thing, used the wind to bend it underneath that crossbar.
He now clears long downfield. Mitrovic tangling again with Davis, but here is Kenny now on the edge of the penalty area. He's got support from Cavallero. Kenny with the low cross in. He was seeking up Mitrovic, but it's cleared away back towards Kenny. He plays it in towards Mitrovic, who controls inside the area, tries to bulldoze his way through. It's cleared by Clark, and the referee has blown the full-time whistle. A dramatic finish to this game, but a point doesn't really help either side. Derby remain mired in mid-table, and Fulham are still 2 points behind Leeds, having played a game more. Wayne Rooney lighting up his 500th league appearance with a delicately chipped penalty, but Alexander Mitrovic with an excellent equaliser for Fulham. Both sides could have snatched it in a frenetic finish, but it's finished. Derby County 1, Fulham 1.